everybody, and welcome to another episode of the Ad Project Podcast. Today, I'm really excited to get joined by Will Fisher from Emerge. Will, we now get to be teammates, buddy.
We do indeed. Yeah, I've been watching this podcast afar, so I'm really excited to be jumping in with Ad Advance and the other Podean group members. Yeah, what an exciting time, and yeah, look forward to the conversation.
Yeah. So for those who are following along, with Ad Advance, so we joined the Podean team. Now it's about 8, 9 weeks ago.
Mm.
And big driver for us. We've always been retail media focused, and Podean just offers this global marketplace presence with so many different scopes of service that we currently didn't offer. And so it's added this huge potential on what we're able to do as an agency. And then just announced, so Emerge is also going to be joining Podean. And man, I'm just so excited. Like with everything that I've heard about Emerge, talking to different people in the space, talking to like people who have been working with you, like Emerge has had such an awesome reputation. So Will, maybe just give us a quick overview on Emerge, and then we can get into some more specifics that people can take away on the podcast. Like, you guys have a large international presence too. It looks a lot different in different aspects than like, what we typically talk about, which is more of like a North American focus. So we can hit on a
Mm.
bunch of that. And then, just the different ways that you guys approach things too. Like, I think there's going to be a lot that we can take away. So maybe let's set the groundwork on, give us an overview on Emerge, how you guys got going, kind of what the team looks like.
Yeah, no. Firstly, yeah, thanks for the kind words. We think the same about you guys. We've seen you from afar, and we feel like you're a similar version of what we're doing in the EU and now obviously the US for us over the last few years. And happy to give a background. We can start from the beginning and then go
Yeah,
through.
let's start from the beginning.
Yeah, so from the beginning, so myself, I'm Chief Commercial Officer and co-founder at Amerge. I was working at Amazon for 4 years, mainly in the CPG category. I had my two co-workers at the time. So John, who was based in London, he worked on the Non-Endemic team, and then we had Vitali, who was an account manager at the time, based in Bratislava. We worked across different accounts together, and we always spoke about creating an agency that was really utilizing Amazon's first-party data and combining that DSP and sponsored ads narrative together. We didn't feel like any agency was doing it at the time, and we joined forces. We built our own optimization tool, Emerge Engine. We had a dashboard, Emerge View, which brought in retail sales, which no one was really doing at the time, which allowed us to really understand what were the ad sales doing on the bottom line. And this was really effective for us in the first year, and we got some great partnerships. We really leaned into the partner programs within Amazon, and it went off from there. Really, we started to really drill into the local expertise, starting with Germany. We got boots on the ground, a great leader who knows the German market. That kind of forced us to grow throughout the other EU marketplaces, and then we did the same thing in the US. We've got a great leader there, and I suppose you could say the rest is history. We've now got to 105 people. Here we are today, joining forces with the Podean group, and yeah, we're in our seventh year now, and we could have continued to go independent on our mission, which was building the blueprint for every brand to succeed with Amazon. But we felt like this was really the right time to work with a partner that was just building something very ambitious. We saw that they bought you guys, well, 7 weeks before they partnered with us. Commerce Canal, which is offering something really interesting in the retail and analytics space. And we felt like this was just a new chapter for our mission, for our team, for our clients, and it's just going to kind of fast track us to where we were going to go anyway. I don't know if you were feeling the same, if it was always within your plan to partner with Epidian, or you
Yeah,
tell me.
yeah. So for us, the key driver was, we've always been laser focused on the retail media side, and there's pros and cons with every strategic decision you make. And we would constantly go back and forth on, okay, should we start to build out a new team that can do, say, creatives,
Yeah.
or that can build out product detail pages. You can have the best ads in the world, but if the product detail page doesn't convert,
Yeah.
ads doesn't even make sense. Or there were so many different instances where we'd run into different clients where they'd say, okay, cool, we want to advertise in the UK and sell there, but we don't have a presence right now. Can you help us?
Mm.
And we would have to say no, and we would have different partners that we would work with. And so that was always on the roadmap where it's like, how do we build out this capability? And then I was continually talking to other full service agencies too to just see if there'd be a good fit. And throughout the years, there was never really that great conversation where I had multiple really good conversations, but it never just clicked where it's like, this feels right. And then finally started talking to the Podean team, talking to Mountain Gate, to his finance, this whole group. And man, the expertise there, like, and for me
Mm.
too, like, I'm a chemical engineer. Like, I just kind of like stumbled into all this stuff from selling on Amazon and building out an agency. So like we've done well. It's kind of fun to have that fresh approach, but at the same
Mm.
time, there's people who have done this before.
Yeah.
And we were hitting a level where it's like, all right, like I know my strengths and weaknesses. And I think that if we partner with the right people who know how to take this to the next level, like there's a lot of cool things that we can do as a combined group. So it was all those pieces coming together. It was never in like the strategic game plan where it's like, okay, let's grow up on the retail media side and then we're going to get acquired by this bigger agency.
Yeah.
But it's just like one step kind of led to the other. And I don't know, it's all seems to be falling into place. And now with Emerge joining too, it's like, all right, this is another really cool piece of the puzzle where like just bigger picture, like it's pretty impressive, like what the team has been building.
Yeah. Yeah. And it feels like we're kind of the way they've brought almost disruptors in different markets that have been having USPs in different areas as well. I think that's going to be really interesting to see the tech that we built. How's it going to integrate with yours? I know that we have been working a lot with the non-endemic teams, which I think is going to be something to showcase to your teams. And I know that you've been doing a lot of the AMC and is it the personas that you were talking about recently? I
Yep,
think that'd
yep,
be really
really
cool to
digging
see.
into like the customer avatars and the
Yeah.
personas and yeah, using that really structured detail targeting as you're starting to move up
Mm.
the funnel.
Yeah. Yeah, I think yeah, it's going to be really interesting. And we were the same. Like, I don't know if you were always just focused on Amazon, but that was always our North Star, all being ex-Amazon employees. I think about 60% of our team are from
Sure.
Amazon.
Yeah, that's
And
awesome.
yeah, and we did dabble in retail media outside of Amazon with our larger partners. But I think what Podean are doing across that whole space is just going to be a bit of a game changer, really, when it comes to the depth that they can get into and the retail analytics tools that they've
Sure.
built with Purvey. So looking forward to
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, we've had a lot of fun digging into the other retail channels too. And so like Walmart being a preferred partner, and then there's so many other channels that we have been able to support and do support. What
Yeah.
makes it so fun and why a lot of our focus goes back to Amazon is just the depth that you can get into it. And they're
Mm,
just leading in so many different areas in
mm,
terms of ad types, targeting options, reporting definitely now with Amazon Marketing Cloud. Like, it just kind of adds all these extra layers that you can bring. And Amazon is kind of pointing the North Star where, you've got folks like Walmart who are catching up quick and
mhm.
they're they're really progressing, which has been a lot of fun too. But
Yeah.
Amazon has been like our primary key piece that got us started and has been
Yeah.
the key focus area. But like one item I wanted to get your take on. So
Yeah.
like we support marketplaces throughout the world.
Hmm.
We do support in like Europe, and we've had a lot of success there. But our primary growth has been within North America. And there's multiple differences between the different markets, but you've obviously had a lot of success globally.
Mm.
And you've also taken a different approach where we're more singularly based in Duluth, in Minnesota, northern Minnesota,
Still need
where
to
you've
come.
got
Yeah.
people scattered throughout the globe. Yeah.
Yeah.
and,
Mhm.
and so walk me through kind of the differences that you see when you're looking at like, say like the different European marketplaces versus North America. And what do you think is attributed to all the success that you guys have had there?
Yeah, so as I said at the beginning, we did find a great leader in Germany who, and that was a good example of how you need to approach a market where you don't speak the language naturally as a founding team. So I think you need to find someone that has the expertise and the network. I think that was so finding the right leadership. And we did the same in other markets when it come to uh, France, Spain, Italy. We even have a Chinese speaker who is able to speak to those markets as well. And yeah, doing that from the beginning really helped. But I would also say our values has really helped us kind of make sure everyone feels like they're united, they're part of something bigger than just, working at an agency. So that has really helped us. And then also having our mission that everyone is really focused on from the beginning. But yeah, it's an interesting space that we feel like there's not many agencies that have started in the EU and
Mhm.
then launched in the US the way that we did. Some people were saying we were crazy at the time. Maybe we were, but yeah, obviously it's paid off today because we've got a great team there. And again, we found someone that who we knew well and was a great leader and could build the right team. And again, it was the partner programs that I think we really leaned into. What were the problems that customers were having, and just working backwards from that. And non-endemic was something that really helped us um, really utilize DSP because with non-endemic clients, they are really the most advanced DSP setups when it comes to ad tags, ad tech integrations, and this allowed us to then showcase that across the agency and then move into other examples with endemic brands across the US. So yeah, so going back to your question, how did we make it work in the EU? I think yeah, just as always, just being very client obsessed and just kind of like working out how we can spread that across different markets. But it's an interesting space. There's a lot of agencies out there doing Amazon. You'll find the same as well. But yeah, I think having the right partnerships has really helped us. And also the partner awards were a big one for us. We're proud to be the leading partner award winner globally as an agency.
Yeah, you guys have
Uh,
dominated.
yeah, thank you. Yeah, we have. It's been really interesting from the beginning doing that because when they first launched it in 2021, we won two. So one was with brand building for water wipes, and the second one was Joseph with Scale Technology. We found out that actually Podean worked with water wipes today, and they were our first client as an agency. So that's quite full circle.
That's
Um,
awesome.
yeah, so I'm looking forward to speaking to that team. But yeah, and then we ended up winning two for innovation and recently performance optimization, which those awards have really helped us kind of showcase the deep partnerships that we have with brands. And I think that's just something that we've always just done well as an agency because we've come from Amazon. We understand how it works being an account executive and account manager and just scaling that out basically.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, I don't know if you've had a similar approach.
Well, I think one thing that really sticks out to me too is just how you guys started focusing in the European market. Where and I think that that's highly undervalued in like really like the core start of an agency and
Mm,
what that really allows you to laser focus on at the beginning.
mm,
And I kind of think through like when we were getting started too, like when Matt and I were getting going, we were both working full-time jobs. So we were working together at full-time jobs and then we were doing this agency thing on the side. And this was like
no.
2016, 2017 timeframe. Like I started selling it around like 2014.
Mm-hmm.
And so just due to the amount of like limited time we had, it was like, all right, we've got to build a really good tech backbone, which helps us out. So then when we're in there, we can be doing the highest value items we can for our clients.
Yeah.
And so it was just that core piece and probably how we're both wired too, where it's like, all right, we're stumbling into building this agency fully on this tech backbone. And so it was not this like strategic plan where it's like, okay, this is going to set us apart or whatever it was. It was like,
Mm,
all right, this is the necessity for us to get going. And then it really started to resonate. And then we found out that we could do a lot of cool things with that. And then we built the agency around the tech versus where I've seen a lot of people falter is like, you start with the agency, you do everything manually, and then you try to add in the tech later, and that's a lot harder.
yeah.
And I get parallels to how you guys started too, first focusing in the EU
Mm,
and then expanding to North America versus doing it the other way. which
Yeah.
I feel like is a lot harder too. And that kind of builds up your DNA there on, all right, if you can establish yourselves in each of these individual markets, which are smaller than, like the big US market, okay, that's cool, and that really sets you up for expansion to the other markets too. And so I think like kind of the DNA on how you get started as an agency can have a huge influence and impact as you go. And I feel like that's somewhat undervalued too, where from the agency world, you can look and be like, okay, here's this shiny new thing. Let's go get after it. But we're going to
Mm.
struggle from somebody who's just laser focused and that's their core focus from the start.
Yeah.
And that's where we always struggle too, trying to get into like, all right, let's support creative or let's support like the rest of the infrastructure on the seller side.
Mm.
It's just hard when you have all these core focus areas. And so that's where I
Mhm.
think that this model is pretty cool, where we're bringing all these people that have this pure expertise
Mhm.
and then, all right, let's learn from each other as we go.
Yeah. No, I definitely see the synergies there around the building the tech integrations and solutions for partners, as opposed to just going out there and just servicing what most agencies do. I feel like we're probably quite similar in that sense of problem solving with tech and then building it out. And yeah, I think like we said at the start, I think we're both building separate things, and it'd be really cool to see how we can integrate those over the next couple of months.
Yeah.
And yeah, I think across the EU as well, I think the we always had that question around, because when we were trying to launch in the US, we had questions from US clients saying, "Oh, you don't understand the US market. That's a lot bigger." And we're like, "Yeah, but we're running in the EU where there's like 6 different marketplaces. The
Sure.
cultures are different, the languages are different." But you've probably felt it too. When you do get that person in market, they understand how customers work, how people are shopping, and how they're serviced as well. These businesses, it can be very different.
Yeah. Yep. And totally agree. And this is coming from a guy who is like built his whole agency on, okay, let's all be local in the office together.
Yeah.
Having that localized presence in each of the markets, like it adds such an advantage. And so, another key reason why I'm really excited about this. Like,
Mm.
so one item you hit on is like the values for Emerge too.
Yes.
And I know very well aware too when you're looking to combine with a different agency,
Hmm.
trying to find that cultural alignment and that right structure and the right leadership is so important too.
Hmm.
So kind of walk through like what's the core values of Emerge, and as you're looking at like the Podean team as a whole, like how do you feel like those align? Like what was the process that you took when you were reviewing that and seeing like,
Yeah.
hey, is this going to be a good long-term fit?
Yeah, the values are so important for us. We created the 5 core values from when we first begun. I'll just say what those are if no one's aware. So it's be human, flow state, low blame high analysis, room to breathe, and be frugal, which is a similar one to the Amazon ones, yeah, those Amazonians out there. We just launched a new one in November, freedom and responsibility, and it's yeah, so it was always we were always quite proud at how they were really used across the company. We did create processes to make sure that was happening, whether it was partner awards that we would put forward like annually and make sure people are doing shout outs and things like that. But they really were ingrained in our culture. And so yeah, when we were looking for, well, not looking for partners, when we got approached by Podean, we wanted to make sure that that was going to be the right fit and it was going to be a right home for the teams and the cultures we built. But I saw the episode with you and Mark. Was it last one or a couple of episodes
Yeah.
ago? And it was interesting, Mark saying about the positive energy is an umbrella that allows for the agencies that they're bringing in, Mark and Trav, to then be able to empower their own values, not necessarily say, no, we've got Podean values, we're going to kind of embrace everyone else's, which I think was really cool. And it's important for us to understand that that is the case. So, yeah, did you have that feeling when you came in?
Yeah, yeah. I mean, and that's always been like a core piece whenever I've been looking at like potential
Mm.
partnerships. And honestly, it's weeded out more like,
Hmm.
than the actual like deal structure, where it's like, all right, this could make sense from like a pure like we offer this, you offer that, but man, I'm not getting a good feeling here.
Yeah, we had a
Yeah.
few of those conversations.
Yeah, and so it's like that's been a core piece because I mean, as a founder, you're building up a business, and you're usually building it up to like, all right, I don't like the way that this is currently going in whatever other industry or job you were in, or it's like,
Mm,
hey, there's a big opportunity here, and
mhm.
then you have the freedom to build it up, and with that freedom comes a lot of responsibility. But now it's like, I don't know, it's like you're sending your kid off to college
Yeah.
and so it's like, okay, I hope that I'm sending him off into like a good spot and a good scenario in good hands. And so that was always so critical for me because, when you're building up a team, like they're taking a shot on you, they're putting
Mm,
trust in you. And so you want to make sure that you're setting them up for the best situation longer term. And that's where I got really excited about this, just from like the cultural alignment felt like that really tied in well. And just from like, we're 8, 9 weeks in,
mm.
but getting a really good feeling on how the teams are tying together and overall integration, like in the early stages, have gone really well. Like there's been a lot of change. The team has rolled with it. I've been super proud of them.
That's
Um,
great.
but then at the same time, it's like, all right, for like, I want the team to have long-term success, sustainable success, and what's the best way that I can do to put them on that path? And there gets to be a point where it's like just taking a step back and looking at myself as a leader too. And it's like, all right, I think we've hit that point where somebody else can take the reins from here and they're going to do a
Mhm.
better job than me taking us to that next level.
Yeah.
Um, and so building out this full global agency, having all this expertise that's been brought in, like, and now with Emerge, we're gonna have like 8
Mm.
founders just in itself, and then all the other awesome leaders surrounded, and then the board members, just the experience there, it's crazy. And so it was all those pieces where it's like, all right, I'm seeing the direction, I'm seeing the leadership, I'm seeing the cultural alignment, and I'm seeing like the long-term vision. And so it was all those pieces coming together where it's like, all right, this is the right move.
Mhm.
But yeah, it's hard,
It's
it's
really
challenging, it's crazy as a founder.
Yeah, it is. It's really cool that you guys are like 7, 8 weeks behind us because we can check in to see how things are going, and it sounds like, yeah, it's all going smoothly outside as well. When questions come up, people are obviously thinking because there was so much trust and understanding of where we were heading as an agency. I think we know that right now it's important just to communicate, make sure that everyone is brought into the collective vision that Mark and Trevor put forward. So yeah, I think over the next few weeks is going to be a lot of FaceTime and making sure also that our clients understand that all the teams are going to be the same. It's just going to be additional tech. There's going to be additional services if they need them and everything like that. Because I know that when there are these partnerships, there can obviously be concerns from whether it's teams or clients on how things are going to integrate. But I think, as you said before, I think we're all very um, unique at certain areas, and I think it's just going to be really interesting in how we can bring it all together.
Yeah, yeah. So I guess before we wrap up, if there's any other agency owners, founders who are listening, like any words of advice if you're looking at different options like this or looking to combine up with another team, like anything that stuck out to you?
I think definitely get to know the culture, which we've already spoken about today, but really understand maybe what our clients are asking for before you speak to these partners. What do you feel like the gap is in market? And I think understanding what that is could help you, find that right fit. But I think, yeah, for us, it was just getting to know the team and making sure that it was going to be the right home for our team as well. So I think, yeah, just getting to know people at a human level, but then obviously making sure that it makes sense from a strategic standpoint as well. Because I think at the end of the day, that's the key reason you would partner with someone. And for us, I think it's a really good fit.
Yeah. No, sweet. Well, I'm looking forward to working with you.
Yeah,
It's been
likewise.
fun connecting with the Merge team already, and
Hmm.
lots more fun stuff ahead of us. Appreciate you joining the podcast.
Thank you very much, Joe. I'm looking forward to coming to Duluth at some point.
Yeah, yep, and I'll be in London coming up, so we will definitely have to meet
Yes,
up. Yeah.
perfect.
Yeah, and for all those listening, as we've talked about in previous episodes, so with this change, we're going to be revamping the podcast a bit too. So in future episodes, get ready for the Power Craver Charge podcast. It's going to be with both Ryan and Mark from the Podean team. You'll still be seeing a lot of me. So I'm really excited for that. Nice little revamp to the podcast itself. So make sure you follow along. And for all those who have listened to the Ed Project podcast, I appreciate you listening, and we'll see you on the next episode.